welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
We are so excited to be kicking off the series. And it's something that has been kind of percolating for quite a while, right, Abigail?
Yeah, it has. We've been chewing on it, and we are very excited that finally it's being manifested at this time.
Yeah, so Abigail and I, for a little context, we have been deeply connected for several years, and every week we have accountability calls. And we catch ourselves going so deep in some of these conversations, and we're like, oh my gosh, people need to be getting to hear this, because of the wisdom that's coming out.
Totally. I was thinking, actually, it was funny that we are starting this process, bringing through this wisdom during the eclipse portal. I think that is so fascinating that is happening now. And it
That
says a lot about where we are and what is being called to come to the forefront to help humanity remember who they are, you know.
That's so incredible. And especially just because it's something we've been kind of like talking about for so long and then
Yeah.
deciding, and we didn't plan it to be
Yep.
us in this time. So it was like really synchronistic. I love that.
Yeah. So the tarot, I get it. Not everybody's comfortable with the tarot, and this is something that I say a lot is that there's a reason why people are not comfortable with the tarot compared to like oracle decks, right? Decks are lighter, they're fun, angels and fairies and all the colors. It brings light to your heart. That's the purpose of the oracle. But tarot is no BS, okay? A lot of people don't like it because there's no sugarcoating. It's not gonna show you something just to make you feel good. You're gonna pull the card that you need to work on, see, hear,
Mhm.
whether you're like, well, you are ready to receive it. It's just a choice of if you want to do something about it. So the tarot deck is more about our lives, our existence, our physicality, and how we can grow from there. It's taking us from where we are to where we know ourselves to be and showing us the work between that journey, those 2 points. And so the people that I find love the tarot are usually the ones that are in the trenches doing the work, walking through the fire, knowing that they need to do this in order to get to where they know themselves to be. What do you think?
Yeah, it's not all rainbows and sunshine. It goes deep and it does really look at so many different aspects of our life, of our physical well-being, of our spiritual well-being, of our mental well-being, and our emotional well-being. It really connects us to so many different parts of ourself that for people to really step into tarot, it means they're ready to really explore all the parts of themselves, even the parts that are uncomfortable to look at, and lean into the parts that are really fun and vibrant and ready to be woken up. Also, so there's the full spectrum in tarot. It's not. This isn't a light. It's not a light subject, really. But it is. It is. It should be looked at from a point of curiosity, um,
Yes.
and exploration, because it's really just an opportunity to understand ourselves and the world a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an opportunity for you to get to know yourself better, to
Yeah.
dive in deep into the mysteries of who you are, why you're here, what your purpose is, what lights you up. Like
Yeah. What you need
that.
to release,
Yeah.
what is
Yeah.
maybe hiding in the shadows, or there's so many different angles, and in this series we're going to walk through every card, basically, and share our experience. One of the things I think, so a little background, I learned tarot from Abigail. She was my spiritual mentor, and she's the one who introduced me to tarot. So having a mentor like Abigail to guide me through the process has it made it from something that could easily be kind of surface level to so embodied and in depth that it literally cracked open parts of myself. And I have released so many parts of myself in the process and leaned into other parts and have become a whole nother person in the process.
Yeah. I I watched Nicolette move from where she was, which is like in a place of releasing her old, like the old that no longer works, to now just completely in her element and just continuously blooming and growing. And what I love about having these chats with you is that you are mastering the mysteries of the tarot. You are mastering it in the way of, you know, it's not like what majority of people do, which they use it for divination instead. They're like, oh, yes or no, or am I going to get this or no?
Yep.
You are using it to grow. It's as simple as that. And that's what the tarot is for, is to help us to grow and be better and create the life that we desire. It is so deep and so powerful, you know. And so I wanted to bring this because you said this beautifully, how the tarot is a mirror rather than divination. So yeah, yeah, go ahead and do your thing because you
Well,
did so good.
well, I want to say that I had a great teacher, so that helped. But before we move on to that, I'm curious, how did you first connect with tarot?
Ah, so in the I was in the mystery school for probably almost 3 years. So a mystery school, think about, let's say like grad school, right? You go and you study, let's say, microbiology and you graduate. And mystery school is for the spiritual wisdom. So you learn about shamanism, you learn about high priestess. All of these paths, there's like five main paths in there. All of that lead back to you. So it's about, for example, ritual mastery is about tapping into the warrior within yourself. And there's a lot of shadow work that you do in that journey. High priestess or high priest path is about bring like embracing, there we go, that's the word I was looking for, embracing that part of you that is connected to heaven and also on earth, and bringing through the rituals to manifest spirit into the physical. So it just, each of these paths is like you're going in to learn about the deeper mysteries of who you are. And it's a lot of work too. So that's what a mystery school is. Because I always get, what is a mystery school?
Right.
Well,
And
you
so
know,
the
how are you
tarot
there?
was one of the tools that you really got
Yes, and one
to
of it was a
investigate.
major tool that our teacher introduced to us. And again, I just love the way she introduced it because again, when I heard about it, the way people were using it were more for divination. So I saw it as just this fun tool that everybody uses, is no context. And the way she walked us through and the way she would like we'll pull a card and she'd be like, what do you see? Instead of go read the message and then use that,
Yes,
what do you see? And then I would say what I see in there. And then she'd be like, oh, really? That's what you're going through in your life right now? I'd be like, wait. Like, wait. So,
yes,
like,
yeah.
she helped us to really decode each of the cards in a way that reflected our own journey.
It's
And it was
personal to
so
you
powerful.
and
Yeah.
seeing the imagery and what's kind of connecting, what you're connecting to.
Yeah,
And I know that's also how you guided me through it, is really to connect to the imagery and what is it that you see. And then to start kind of digging in and unraveling kind of, okay, wait a minute, what might this mean for
exactly.
me in the different areas of our life? And there's so much symbolism and meaning in tarot that
Yeah.
that's part of the series too, is so that we can share a little bit of that wisdom with you from what we understand. Because I think once you start understanding more about, what kind of the energy that these cards are holding, that's really where the magic starts happening, where you can start really understanding and delving into the different parts of our lives and how.
Yeah, and we hope that as you're following this journey, that whatever fears that you might have, and I know they're fears, especially depending on what, if you have a religious background, it's a huge fear there, right?
Yeah.
And I know
Well,
that that
talk
fear is
about
coming
that.
from,
Why do
yeah,
you think people, why is there some like I think historically, especially in some religious institutions, um, a lot of times anything that's going to be self-discovery outside of
Yeah.
their own teaching
Yeah.
is going to be looked at as frowned upon or potentially dangerous to your soul. And
Yeah.
what do you think about that? What's your take?
The tarot is a tool that within itself has no power. So
Mm,
again, like until my teacher taught me that, I thought it was just something fun that you play with and it just without your energy, without your intention, it has no power. So to
mm,
fear something that is just a tool, it's like looking at a pen and being afraid of the pen.
yes, because of
Why?
what come out of it.
Exactly. So
Of
the moment
you.
you know what's going to come out of it, then you're like, oh, I know when I grab this pen, I'm going to be writing some truths that I might not be ready for.
Yes,
And
yes.
that's what the tarot is. It shows you, I feel like at first it shows you the dark, like the parts of you that has been hidden for so long, because it's like, it's about time. Let's get this out,
I
right?
think and
Yeah.
I think it continuously does that. I think at
Yes, it
first it's just
does.
a little bit maybe jarring or off
Yes.
settling for people because we're not used to
Yeah.
looking at those parts of ourselves.
Yeah.
And when you do it with discernment and intention. And I also love that you said like the tarot has no power without us because I think what our depths of how deep we're willing to go with it and
Yeah.
explore it and like try on and embody it really is the depths of what we're gonna like receive from it. Yeah, so I think the depths of how I think you can come in with an investigative kind of in curiosity, and we don't want to scare you. And as long as you say, I want to use this tool for the betterment of me and everyone
Yeah.
around me, then we're going to be in integrity with that.
Yeah.
And I also don't believe that our spirit or our guides, our support team, are gonna like guide us too far deep beyond what we're ready to
Yeah.
receive.
Exactly. Exactly. I love that you said that. And also to talk about it with any tool, you have the choice to use it in light or in
Mm,
dark. It has both capability, is dependent on the person wielding that tool.
true.
So a lot of people are afraid of the tarot because they think it's darkness or the church has told them it's darkness. And we talked a little bit about the
Mhm.
church, kind of tends to hide the things that will help us awaken into our
Yeah.
true
Let's start
power.
asking bigger
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. When we start, and the tarot does that.
Hmm.
But as a tool, whoever is wielding it has that choice to wield it to better themselves and bring it into the light, or wield it in a way that does not benefit themselves or humanity, which is in the dark. It's just like you can do the same thing with a pen or a crystal, right? It's dependent on you.
Yeah. So let's talk about people who, um, or the difference between pulling your own and reading your own tarot, compared to having someone do it for you.
That I'll let you start. I'll let you start. Yeah.
Well, I think that for one thing, when you connect deeply to like your deck and start, you're actually going to get so much of a clear, like more intuitive reading because you don't have the potential of picking up someone else's energy or
Yeah.
creating some confusion around what it is that you're um trying to guide. And then
Yeah.
also, especially if someone I'm not saying like it's inherently wrong because I don't really believe that. But if someone is sharing insights on cards they pulled from you, it is from their perspective, not yours.
Yeah. This it really depends. To be a reader for others, you have to be a master in the way that you're able to create a boundary between what is yours and what is everyone else's. You have to, it is part of being a clear channel. It comes with it. It's just like someone who's channeling information for others, right? When
Sure.
you channel, you allow that transmission to come through you and then come out. And whoever needs to receive it, receive it. It's the same thing with the cards. You have to
Sure.
be a clear channel. And
Yeah.
then what comes through will be exactly for that person. Because at that point, you're working with that person's divine nature, divine team, higher self, instead
Yeah.
of you. It's like you step back and then you allow the divine light or the divine transmission to come through you. And again, using the tool, which is the tarot, for that to come through instead of speaking it or singing it, right? It's the same thing. It's just that divine frequency coming through the cards. So it
Yeah, that's a lot
requires,
of.
if you're going to read to others, it doesn't matter if it's tarot or oracle, you have to be a clear channel.
Mm. And if you're going to someone else, then it need not all readers are equal, right?
No, they're not.
And so making sure that you're in trust with that person, and vetting a little bit, just, not a random person. Not that I think you're gonna get what you get out of the experience.
Exactly.
And it can be entertaining, but be discerning.
Absolutely. Be discerning because again, the person who's reading it for you is a channel for something. And
Yeah.
if they're not a clear channel for light, you're going to be receiving whatever it is coming through them, through that
Mm,
card. But
mm.
if they have that true intention and aligned within themselves, true to themselves, then what is going to come through is going to be clear for you. Um, but you can feel it. Like be discerning who you allow to come into your energy to read. Like, this is your energy. Hold your energy sacred. Not everybody can step into your field and mess with your energy. Okay. You have to be discerning about that. And you got to have boundaries at that. Think of it as your royal shield. Like, not everyone can come in unless they have certain qualifications.
Yeah.
Like, it just comes down to that. Yeah.
Absolutely. But the beauty of this series is we're teaching you how
Yes.
to be to gain some clarity on the different cards so that you can start doing your own reading and gaining insight in your own time, which I think is so valuable because that means that you have access to this wisdom when you need it. Um,
Exactly. Yeah.
and uh, and I also think that it elevates us to student,
Yes.
to seeker, to
Yes.
knower.
Yes.
Instead of just, okay, receiving this information, we have this opportunity to understand ourselves and other people. Because that's
Yeah.
the other thing. Once you start understanding yourself, you start understanding the world and other people a lot better.
Absolutely. I love this. I was gonna say there's power. I'm like, I keep getting this, hearing like the writing on the Oracle of Delphi. Where is it going? Know thyself.
Mm,
Know thyself.
mm,
And the tarot, whoever created, which we have no idea who originally brought the creation of the tarot. We know the different depiction of who created, like the different versions of it and who created that. But
mm.
the true mystery of how it came, nobody knows that. And I
Oh,
feel like it came through, it's one of the tools that we get to remember who we are.
wow, I didn't know that. We didn't
I
know the
know, right?
creator. That makes it even like more mysterious and almost like, oh, so like sacred in a way.
Like I'm curious, like
Yeah.
whoever, like how it came, did they channel it or were they just like, like an artist and they're writing and drawing stuff and it's just something they used and then someone saw it, it's like, hey, what is this? And like I'm curious of the origin
Yes.
story, like
Oh
how
my
it
gosh.
came.
And
Yeah,
it's interesting because if it was something that someone channeled, like they didn't obviously like need to have the credit necessarily, which
exactly.
I think
Well, and also in those days, it probably didn't even all care whoever did it that it would be.
they didn't forecast that like it would
Yeah,
be
I mean,
used, that we would be here talking about it on a
right?
podcast.
But then at the same time, there were
Mhm.
really powerful seers in those times,
True.
powerful oracles,
Mm.
powerful intuitives that channeled like, and that was like a thing. Like that was valued, in the community. Like people would
Yeah.
go to the oracle to get answers. So it's hard to
Yeah, and maybe it was a collective creation,
exactly.
you know?
Exactly.
I think it's so interesting too because that's one of the things that I absolutely adore about the tarot is it is not surface level. So, so much of society these days, in a lot of ways, we're just skirting on the surface.
Yeah.
And it's such an invitation to have for deep reflection and understanding. And in that process, vibrancy is born.
Yes. Absolutely. I mean, it makes sense. If you are tapping into the deeper wells of your knowing, you're going to tap into the radiance of it too. The more you get to know yourself, the more radiant you become, the more your inner light shines brighter. That's
Yes.
why know thyself is one of the
Yes.
know that is one of the most important questions
Know
that
thyself.
humanity
And,
needs to ask.
and I think one of the reasons people are intimidated or maybe have some fear around the tarot is because of some of the darker
Oh,
um,
totally.
messages or things that they perceive. And
Yeah.
what I'm excited to kind of talk about as we go through all of the cards and some of those ones that are very
Yeah.
kind of have some of that really intense energy around it is how even those cards aren't scary when you start
They're
with
not.
the
They're my favorites.
yes, and it usually means the biggest growth, or opportunities for growth. And so even though, the devil or the death feels super confronting to people, there is such deep meaning in those. And sometimes it's super deep and sometimes it's not as deep. So there's a
Exactly.
whole
It
spectrum of things,
depends.
right?
Yeah.
And our understanding and what the beautiful thing, it's like know thyself. It's like and how your mentor, showed you what you see and really connecting the meaning from what you're
Yeah.
gleaning from it is once you get in touch, you know what it's talking to you
You
about.
do. Yeah.
And it's easy to say, oh, okay. And so it's an opportunity to see it, to shine a light, to
Yeah.
reflect, to say, okay, wait a minute, is this what I want to keep doing or do I want to shift things?
Yeah.
It's so empowering, really.
Yeah. And through this series, we will show you how these cards are like archetypes, like allies that walk with you. So for us, like we pull it each month. So each month there's an archetype that steps forward. This archetype represents what we're working on in our world within ourselves, and it walks with us. So it shows you the light and the shadow, and then it
Mhm.
also gives you the tools to work on whatever challenges come up. So it's not like here's your shadow. Good luck. It's like,
Like, there you know, you
yeah,
see it.
yeah, it gives you
It's
everything
just
that
kind of
you
like, here
need
it
to
is.
break
And
through.
now
Yeah.
let's, dig in and kind of start looking at it.
Yeah.
I think and as we go through the series, I know one of the conversations that is going to come up is how at different places in our lives, or if we're
Yes.
in a different spot, the meaning of the card can really shift and change,
Yes.
and illuminate different parts of it. And the longer you work with it, and the more kind of you get in this understanding, you start seeing kind of the whole spectrum,
Yes.
sometimes the polarity,
Yes.
sometimes it's like, huh, I really don't know. And that's okay too. It's okay to sometimes be like, I'm a little stumped about it. We don't always have to attach meaning if there's not something that's truly ours to glean from it. And it's okay. Like the full, just really approaching it with curiosity and a deep understanding to know ourselves.
Totally. I have been working with the tarot for more than a decade, and some cards that, depending on when they show up, like when they show, I'm like, oh, it's going to be this and that and that. And
Yes.
we've even had that experience. It's going to be
Yep.
this and that. And then it's like, nope, it
Yeah.
was not that.
It's
So,
funny. And
yeah.
Yeah, so Abigail showed me years ago how to do a compass. So every year we do a compass, which kind of walks us through who we're the archetype we're becoming, the energy that we're moving in that year, and then a door, which is the um oh wait, I forgot. The door is the
You got it.
Major Arcana. Sorry.
Yeah, you got
Major Arcana.
it.
And then the key is one of the suit cards. So we're going to get into all these pieces. Um, but every year, you get this whole thing and you're like, oh, this is must be this. And I think my favorite part about it is actually the reflection.
Yes.
So looking back after the month has gone by and being
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, this is how it showed up.
Yeah.
Um, and it's okay to kind of glance at it at the beginning of the month. But it is important to be detached because
Yes.
really the surprises in how this is going to kind of show up for us and unfold is kind of it's really interesting and
It
it can
is.
be super fun too. And I've had months where I'm like, I really don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know what it was trying to show, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
But mostly, I can identify at least one or two really big themes that it was really guiding me through or supporting me. Because I think that's the other thing. It's not just guidance, but it's tapping into the spiritual support that is available to us.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Spiritual and physical support.
Yeah,
Because
all the
sometimes,
support.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
all the
seen and
support that comes with
unseen.
it. It's
Yes.
incredible.
Yes. And so there might be something and you pull a card and you're like, oh, this must mean that. And then it actually means that people came around and supported you in a really
Yeah.
important way. Like, so there's so many different ways that this kind of moves through our existence. And that's what I'm excited to
Yes.
share with the audience is not a preconceived, not
Yes.
a cookie cutter,
Yeah.
but a really it's going to meet you where you're at.
Yep.
It's going to grow with you as you do.
Yep.
Um, and it's going to teach you what you need to know right now, or show you,
Exactly.
or illuminate the support, or so there's so many benefits. And I think for me, the biggest blessing in addition to knowing myself is really deeply connecting to my higher self and my higher wisdom,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is knowing myself. But
Yep.
in addition to that, is deeply connecting to my spirit team
Yeah.
and the wisdom that wants to come through that way. And just knowing how supported we are. And even in some of our, more harder moments or some of anytime, but especially during the more difficult times, to just always know that you are so supported.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. For me, it's just the ability for it to take me deeper. I have a Scorpio rising, so
Mm.
deep is like my middle name. I
Yes.
just that's where I live, and I'm always curious. I'm always
Yeah.
curious about who I am, where I came from, my journey, my connection to spirit, how that came to be, how I what I came here to do. Like these are questions I ask myself often.
Yeah.
And having a tool like this that can help me dive deep and gain these answers pieces at a time. It's not going to pour everything, so I'm not going to be
Yeah.
overwhelmed with what I get. Like it's
Yeah. It really
incredible that we have a tool like this.
And
Yeah.
it does meet us where we're at. And then um it I think sometimes we can get tunnel vision and look at
Yes.
the same things. And what it does is it really opens our awareness on all the
Yes.
different parts and how they're really impacting the different, one
Yeah.
area is impacting this other area or kind of the connection of that. And yeah, I think that's why we're doing this series is because we're both very deep, reflective
Yes, we are.
areas and want to share that because it has been such a gift for us.
Yes.
And we know the benefit when you start really unapologetically getting to know yourself layer by layer by
Yeah.
layer.
Yeah. Here's the thing. This series, this tool is for you if you are ready to expand, if you're ready to really get to know yourself, if you're ready to grow, if you're ready to become the man or woman you know yourself to be, if you're ready to get out of the stuckness and
Mm,
actually step into flow, if
mm,
you're ready to really see all that you are and all that is here for you. This is not for you if you're not interested in growing.
mm.
This is not for you if you're closed up and you're like this is the way. That's it. It's
Yeah.
not going to
You're
be
not
for because
gonna,
it
this isn't
will,
gonna feel good.
yeah,
Or
it,
if you're
yeah.
looking for a quick fix.
Yes.
This
That's a good one.
isn't
Yeah.
this isn't also necessarily going to be a quick fix. Sometimes it can kind of
It can sometimes. Yeah.
shift things, but I think the wiser way to look at it is the long view of
Yes.
who I'm becoming and consciously choosing and those kinds of things. So,
Yeah.
if you want to be intentional about getting to know yourself, and if you're willing to look under all the crevices and the cracks and the rocks
Yeah.
um,
Open the
and
closed doors.
decide and all of it and say, yeah, let's get that, let's start uncovering these elements, because that is what I've experienced is this full vibrancy through the process.
Yes.
So if you want to step fully into yourself and feel like you can just fill up your own skin in a really confident and magnetic way, then you're gonna love this. Um,
Hopefully.
but if you want someone to say this is how you do it and this is like this step by step, like here's the like here's the process. I mean, we'll share, ideas,
Yeah.
but ultimately we're looking for other seekers who
Yes.
are going to want to take on the process of learning.
Yes. Who are curious.
Yeah,
Like, I feel like if you, as you're moving through this process, like, come back, share with us. What are you receiving? What is coming up for you? Because it's
please.
different for everyone. We're all on our
Yes,
unique paths. And this is one of the reasons why I love talking with you about these cards, because it's always,
yes.
we have a habit of drawing cards that are the same. And then the experiences, sometimes it's like similar, and sometimes it's like,
It's
wait,
like,
why didn't
wow,
I
you've
get that?
experienced that? Okay.
So having, a space or others who are
Yeah,
seekers and curious about their own growth and getting to talk about this makes the journey so much richer and deeper. So
yeah.
come back. Like if you don't have anyone in your circle, come here. Like find the comments
Yes.
or send us a message or share.
Connect with us on
Yeah.
social media because we
Yes.
are here to support you. It is really, I think that's a really valuable point is feeling connected to others in the process instead
Yeah.
of feeling like you have to be closeted.
Yeah. Yeah.
A
Exactly.
closeted seeker. Sometimes those people that are closest to us might not understand, and we have
Yeah.
to find like-minded and hearted friends to kind of walk the path with us. And that's what
Yeah.
you've been for me, Abigail, and I'm so grateful. So definitely, we're here to support you through the process. And I think the other thing is just be open to the curiosity of it.
Be
And we're
open,
going
be
to share
curious.
stories.
Yeah.
It's like we really both look at this as experiential.
Yes.
And so when we see a card, it's not going to be like this, and this. It's like, oh, this is how I experienced it,
Yeah.
or this is what comes up for me a lot when I am pulling this card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do at the end of each episode, we're gonna start next week with the first two major arcanas. Um, Oh, I almost, it took me like on a different tangent. I'll come back to that. But at the end of each episode, we'll actually give you like a simple exercise that you can do so that you can spend time with your cards too. So
Yeah.
they're just going to be simple ones so it warm you up. But it will be fun. So you get to experience that too yourself. It's not just listening to us and taking it like no, you have your own experience and we want
We
you to
want to
have the
encourage
experience.
you to walk into the experience for yourself. And
Yeah.
I think the other important thing is, regardless of where you're at in your path, if you have never, ever held a deck of tarot cards in your hand, then you're going to get a lot of wisdom about embodying the tarot and using it as a tool of self-discovery. Um,
Okay.
or if you are, uh, a seasoned tarot user, I think you're gonna find so much like oh, what's the word that I'm trying to say? You're gonna find camaraderie and connection in how it's experienced us. And like we said, sometimes we'll experience the same card differently. So if what we say doesn't land with you, that's fine. You don't have
That's
to
okay.
attach
Yeah.
to it. But you can say, huh, that's an interesting
Yeah.
perspective. But I promise you, some of the things are gonna be like, oh my gosh, yes.
You'll
Um,
feel it.
You'll feel it and you'll know it. So it's really just a fun exploration of the tarot and how we get to use it to continue to know ourselves better and better.
You know what I was thinking? I was like, let's talk about why we're doing the major arcanas instead of
Oh,
all of it at once.
okay.
And then also, even if for people who don't have a deck, how should they choose one? Because I feel like those would be questions that would be coming in too.
Okay. Well, I want you to answer them.
Crack me up. Okay,
Like
so
better
why?
questions suited for you.
So why did we choose the major arcanas? When you grab the tarot, there's the major arcanas and then there's the minor suits. The major arcana represents you and your journey. The minor suits come in, and this is where they start to bring other influences that come through. So the way I see the minor arcanas is like it breaks down the whole, which is the major, into little pieces. So for example, the fire suit is about our connection to the divine. The earth suit is about our physical body, our physical life, our physical reality. The cups is about our relationships, our hearts, our emotions, right?
Yeah.
And which one am I missing? The swords is about our mind, our
Oh,
thought
no, I
patterns,
think
our
you said,
programming.
yeah. So the wands are spiritual,
Yes.
cups are emotional, swords are mental, and then pentacles
Pentacles,
physical.
body,
Yeah.
physical. Yeah.
And we are going
So
to get into each one of these because we're going through all of the major arcana, and then we are also going into the minor and the suits and just all those different. So as we go through the process, you're gonna like this is like seriously a master class
it really is.
understanding. I mean, we're going deep,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be broken down in bite-sized chunks so you can kind of get what you get. And yeah, so the major arcana
Yes.
is the really the bigger archetypes, right, of us and our kind of who we are and
It's
the
who you are. Yeah.
and then I also see the minors as really also reflecting more of maybe the other parts of what's going on around us as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh, so we'll get into all of that,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a master class, but it's going to
Yes.
be fun and it's going to be interactive because, like Abigail says, we really want you to feel empowered and experimenting and starting to use tarot as your own tool of self-discovery. So how does someone go about picking the deck?
Yes. So if you are like, I only have Oracle decks, I don't, I've never had, how do I even know the right one for me? One thing I know about tarot is that it will choose you because again, it's aligned with your energy. So sometimes like I think I have two tarot decks that are sitting there that I never use. And I always
Mm,
come back to the same one.
mm,
If you're new to tarot, start with the Rider Waite's deck.
yeah.
It's like that's like the basic and
It's a
I
very traditional
traditional, that's the better word.
imagery
Yeah,
and it's less of interpretation or
yeah,
I feel like it's less like interpretation of the designer maybe
exactly.
it's more of like just you get to the heart of it.
It's the foundation of tarot.
I still
Yeah,
am using the same deck I got at the beginning.
yeah,
So, and it is the Tarot Wade, and I think it cuts to the heart of it.
it does. It's the foundation of tarot. The symbolism, that everything is rich and it holds the foundation. So start there. I think even if you're, I mean, people who have been studying tarot, most likely they have the tarot weights because that's just it
That's a
gets you to the point.
standard.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
definitely the best place to start.
Exactly. But it's
And
okay if that doesn't resonate because you can go
yeah,
to metaphysical store, a store that has it. It's hard. Actually, the same concept works on, let's say, if you go on Amazon or
Yeah.
online store, you can browse through and the right one will grab you. Like if
Yeah.
you're in person with it, you will feel that pull. And it's the same as if you grab a deck and it's like, nope, I'm not for you. You will feel that. So you kind of have
Yeah.
to, again, this is a tool that is working with your energy. So you have to find, or you have to, yeah, you have to find the one that resonates or matches your energy.
And with that said, trust it.
Yes.
And especially if you're just beginning your journey, and sometimes you might be a little cut off from the energy, and maybe you don't feel the pull, and that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you at all.
Yeah.
Don't overthink it. It's fine. Um, just know that whatever deck you get is the right one for you to begin with. Um,
Yeah.
and trust that you're going to have a lot of fun learning about yourself.
Yeah. And then, so when you get the deck, the first thing I want you to do is clear it. So you can clear it by using your intention or channeling divine light and just like you have to remove it from the package, put it in your hand, spread it out, like clear it
Mhm.
with sage, the smoke of sage or Palo Santo or a spray, using your intention or putting it outside in nature, let the sun clear it. That's the first step. Second step, place it on your heart and just breathe. Breathe into it, call in your higher self, call in your team, call in the divine light from above and the divine mother's heart to come in and ask them to, what word am I looking for? Align this tool with
Mhm.
you, if that makes sense. Just simple. Get the
Yeah.
you clear it and then you align it with you. That way what comes through is only for you. Because again, you have to think about when you grab a tarot deck from the store, so many people have touched it. So if you
Right.
come home immediately, you do a reading, you're doing a reading for other people, not
Other
you.
their energy is
Yeah.
connected.
Yeah.
And then that's one thing that I know you taught me right away is don't let other people touch your
Oh,
deck.
yes. I always say have a deck that people can play with
Yeah.
and then have one that's sacred to only you. It's like, this is for me. This is attuned to my energy. It tells me my truth, right? So you can have one that's just for you. And I think that's why I keep using my Rider Waves because that is the one that I'm like, this is for me. The rest, that's the one that people can touch. And, again, this is a sacred tool for you, right? It's sacred. So keep it
It
that
is
way.
sacred. And I think that's one of the things that people will learn if they're just getting started. Um, is that the deeper you go in yourself, it's like the more energetically charged your deck becomes.
Absolutely. Yes.
And so it really is becomes like this just extension of your energetics um
Yes.
showing up for you in the physical, which is just
Exact.
really
Oh, I
amazing.
love that. Yes.
Yes. Yay.
I'm telling you, when she
Um,
said when you go deeper, she means deeper into yourself, into the
yeah.
mystery of yourself, not like deeper into something that's not you, deeper into your mystery with this tool.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
yeah, you will learn so much about yourself. And it's not just learning about you, it's also showing you how to become who you know yourself to be. Like
Yeah.
like we're
Kind of like a
simplifying
guide.
it here.
It's like a guidepost,
Yeah.
for a guide, and I think sometimes too, it just kind of gives us a higher perspective. Because it's so easy to get zeroed in and tunnel vision
Yes.
on things, kind of like I was saying. And it just opens things up and said, oh my gosh, I didn't even see that part of it.
Yes.
Oh, wow. You know? And so I just want to encourage people to come about this as from a curiosity.
Yeah.
I promise you're going to learn so much from Abigail. That's like a
From
given
both of us.
from both of us, but I
Don't
do
be fooled. She has
honor
a lot of
I want
wisdom.
to honor this because it's you have so much understanding and wisdom, and the way you guide people through it is so unique and really just empowering for
Thank
them.
you. Oh,
And
snap.
so and so I think you'll enjoy hearing our conversations and kind of the things that have come up for both of us, the wisdom that's gleaming out. But what is mostly important is what's this meaning for you? What's showing up for
Yes.
you through it? So So
Yeah.
excited. And we this is kind of the high level overview, but yeah, we're going deep, guys. So
Yeah.
deep in our stories and our understanding and sharing kind of the wealth and worth of the tarot. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the ways that I want you to travel with us, if you feel called to, because again, don't feel pressure to do anything you don't feel called to, is have a deck, and then when we're talking about a certain card, have
Yeah.
that card in front of you.
Yes.
Remember, make sure you do the clearing and the aligning first. Get that ready before you step in. And then have the card in front of you. Because as we're talking, because remember, you have to be a clear channel for the divine to do this. So we're going to be in our element, which means that there's a huge opportunity that you're getting activated.
Yes, and the
It's more
card's
than
going
an
to get
opportunity, it's
activated
going to happen.
just as we're talking about it, especially if you have the card out and you're
Yeah.
kind of looking at it and saying, "Oh, what's showing up for me? What's kind of standing out to me?" and looking at the card and as you start looking at the card, you're going to realize how deeply like symbolic they are. You
Yeah.
see one picture and you think, "Oh, this is just this." And then you start looking and you're like, "Oh, wow." And then there's this part of it and there's this part.
Yeah.
And so there's so much intricacy. So it's really fun just looking
Yeah.
at that. And it will activate your deck, I
Yes.
think, as you hear us talking about it and understand it, look at it, glean insight for yourself, do the exercises. Each time it's gonna just be activating you and the card. And yeah, what a
It
gift.
will, yeah, it will open that door to your mystery. Absolutely. So we invite you to play with us.
Come
Come
along.
in.
And if you have a friend
Yes.
who you think would love hearing this conversation, then make sure to share the podcast with them. And if something we say resonates, make sure to share with
Yes.
us because we absolutely want to hear that kind of feedback.
Yeah.
Like we're both very much students also. And so
Always.
we are always wanting to hear real world
Yes.
insights and perspectives and different kinds of understanding. So maybe we share something that you understand differently. Well, let's have the conversation
Yes.
because that's what this is all about, is really sparking that conversation, more understanding, building a community of support for people who are on the journey of understanding
Yeah.
themselves.
And there's so many people awakening up. Like we're always talking about there's an awakening,
Yeah.
but it's not just one awakening. And I feel like the time that we're in, there's something big happening. Like people are waking up really deeply in a way that it's like, I cannot go back to sleep anymore, and
Yeah.
things need to change. It is very powerful. So I'm seeing more and more people seeking these powerful tools that can actually help them to even be like, this is where I am, this is who I am, this is what I'm bringing forward, this is the support I have. And so I'm so glad that we're doing this at this time because I feel like
Yeah. And it's about time.
it's gonna support a lot of people.
We've been talking about it long enough. So
3 years or
and
more, who
yeah.
knows?
And I feel like, yeah, it's oh gosh, when we are waking up, for a lack of a better, for kind of a general term of it, um, it can feel really confusing and it can be painful also. Um, and people think, oh, waking up and that's going to be enlightenment. And it is, but it's like the journey of getting there
Yeah.
uh, takes us on some twists and turns. And so having tools to anchor us,
Yes.
support us, to help guide us is such an important piece in that process. I can tell you for me in the last 4 years, I've been on my own transformational journey for sure. Um, and wake, oh, I don't know,
You
awake,
got it.
or I don't know. It kind of feels almost incongruent for me to say it that way because
Mm,
it feels like so much deeper or something.
Yeah, yeah,
To me, the things that I've experienced, but I understand the term waking up, you're waking up to all the parts of yourself and more understanding and all those things. But I know for me, it has grounded me in not getting lost
yes,
in all of the energy that
yes,
I'm moving through. And really, I've used it as a tool to support me in moving through it because it has been painful. I'm not gonna lie. Like the journey of transformation can feel a lot of different ways to a lot of different people. So I don't want to project anything onto anyone, but there is a possibility of letting go of awakening parts that and there's a whole spectrum of emotions that come through.
yes.
You're moving through that. And so to have the clarity and to have so much better understanding, I've just felt like it was such a like companion for me.
Yeah. Our soul has a plan that was set into motion. And when we got birth into the physical plane, which is part of the requirements, is that we forgot. And through our journey and the experiences and the other people that we meet, we begin to remember, right? So
Yeah.
when we come into contact with these tools like this, it kind of helps us to quicken that remembrance,
Yes.
helping you to remember, oh, this is who I am. But this is the part I was getting to with this tool, with the tarot deck is connected to your soul's mission. So you're able to understand why you're having the experiences that you're having, why these people are coming into your life, why these people are leaving your life. What is the purpose of that? Where are you heading because of that? Like you get to have that clarity. It doesn't mean that it's not gonna hurt. It doesn't mean it's gonna be all rainbows and butterflies. Sometimes it will,
It's like
but
a
it's
map.
not.
It's
Yeah.
like a map though.
It is a map.
It helps
Yeah.
guide us through it.
Yeah.
And so instead of going through the murk and like
Yes.
then maybe we're going around on the trail instead.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it really gives us a lot more discernment in how
Yes.
we're maneuvering things. And so yeah, there's so much to be said. Honestly, and we're gonna get into all of it.
We will.
I know we will. But I really want every one of you who's listening to know that your purpose is so impactful
Yes.
and that the depths of who you are endless. And I know that sounds a little like kind of like, what does that even mean? But I promise you, there's parts of yourself that you haven't even met yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you start connecting with those parts of yourself, something shifts. You start feeling more confident when you walk into the room.
Yeah.
You start holding a little bit more, you hold a little bit more um, grace
Yeah.
when you're dealing with difficult situations. Like there's just so much wisdom through understanding ourselves better. And you deserve to have all of you here.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I hope you are excited as much as we are to discover all that you are and all that you came here to express.
Yeah, and so if you have any questions or things that you would love for us to cover during
Yeah.
the series, make sure to add them in the comments, or reach out to us on social media. Let us know, because we absolutely will. Maybe not right away, but when we get to that, we'll make sure to dig in. Um,
Yes.
and please, please, please be partners with us on this journey. We are really inviting you into this conversation, into this experience. And we want this to be interactive and impactful and fun for you. So come along with us and invite your friends because we're here for the party.
A big party, a soul party.
Yes, let's
All
do
right,
it.
my loves. Until next time, we're bringing it. I hope you bring it too, but we will see you there with the full and the.
The magician.
It
Very
is the
right.
magician. Number one. Yeah. So
Yes.
we're doing 0 and 1. The beginning of the journey.
Yes.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
The Fool and the Magician. So, fresh starts
Yes.
and recognizing that you have everything you need to manifest your reality. Let's do it.
And stepping into your new journey, the new
Yeah.
self.
Yes.
Oh, this is gonna be good. I'm excited.
Me too. So join us next time. And make sure to tell your friends.
All right. Bye, everyone.